Good evening, everyone. Let's give everyone a couple more minutes to start. All right, I think it's time. It's time to start now. We don't need to wait for more. Okay, before starting the new section, I just wanted to check with you if you have any questions on these job search section, resume, network, and especially network side and resume related. Any questions that I can help? If not, I'm moving forward then. Okay, we found the search. We did a job search. We found a good job that is suitable for us, and now we are starting with our application process. Good news. We first of all we need to be very organized in this process because generally during the job search we are applying multiple jobs, which can be in different times and different stages of the interview process. So in order to track all of these, we created an interview process template in Notion. As you can see, we have a process board here. These are the open roles, potential positions, and levels. You can just put the level 5, level 3, whatever. You can talk about the company type, pre-IPO or IPO company, your preference, and where you are at in the which stage you are at in terms of interview process. And you will also capture your next action date, and you can also capture potential compensations and everything. This will give you a good overview of each position you have, each potential position that you're interviewing for, and it will give you a good overview. Then, if you have multiple offers on the table, or if multiple interviews are simultaneously moving on, you can track your progress there. And also, it will give you a calendar as well. When your next interview is, what your calendar looks like in terms of your interview process. So you can just duplicate this interview process template for you and create your own template by using the Notion page. This is very useful. Otherwise, you have to use an Excel spreadsheet probably. But again, we already did a job to help for everyone on during their interview processes. So Yes, the Notion site is open to everyone in the IT society. Yes, that's correct. I can give you the address, by the way. I put it on the chat so you can check it out. All right. So we have a good spreadsheet, good tracker to track our interview process. So how it's time to apply these jobs. How are we gonna apply? What we are saying is, first, always use your network and recruiters first. Generally, companies are getting a lot of applications through their websites or even LinkedIn applications. That these kind of options are not is going to be potentially our last resort. First option is going to be always use your network. So check for your network for a referral, or try to communicate with recruiters of that specific position before doing any application. So again, we just do your due diligence before asking for a referral. As I said yesterday, don't expect the person that will refer to you to do a lot of legwork for you. You have to do your due diligence. You have to do all the heavy lifting, and they will be just putting a referral for you. If you find a position, first ask your network if anyone works there, or if anyone can give your resume internally, especially in person, if possible. That's a huge advantage. If there's a person that knows the recruiter or that knows the hiring manager, that would be a huge initial advantage. But again, during that referral, we need to be very careful and be very honest on that, because we don't expect your referral to say a lot of good things about you, because he or she may not know you at all. He or she will just potentially put your resume in, just giving you an initial trigger, initial bump to trigger that interview process, and it will give you a lot of head start from other candidates as well. So especially if you don't know them, don't expect them to be too. Don't expect them to do a lot. Even if you know that person, he or she will not say anything unreal about you. He's not gonna. He has to be truthful as well to his company, his or her company as well. By the way, this is very important. The referral process differs. It can be different in each company. So some companies are, for example, if you as an individual, if you apply for a job and then ask for a referral, sometimes the companies don't accept the referrals because you already applied to job. They don't allow anybody to refer a candidate who has already applied to the job. But in some companies, this is the process. They want you to apply first and then get a referral to put some endorsement to you as well. So before getting any referral, first check for referral and ask for that person about the interview referral process, and then they will give you the better way to handle that process. This is very critical. Sometimes, again, if you applied, your referral may not be valid as well. It will not give you any additional advantage in that case. Again, check with the person and ask for how to proceed, and he or she will give you better understanding on the referral process. That's a very important thing. So the other questions, again, think about recruiters as your allies, because recruiters are also trying to get somebody hired to that position and fill that position as soon as possible. They have some goals and targets and target dates, so they would like to fill that position as soon as possible with the right candidate. So think about recruiters as your allies. Ask questions and get some clarifications, get some tips and tricks as much as possible from them. They can give you some insights on the process as well. So that's why if there's an opportunity, you can use your recruiter network first. If you have a network of recruiters in your in your network, so just use them as an initial step as well. They will be your allies. This topic is very important. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a de facto platform almost right now in for especially for most high quality organizations. There is a lot of jobs and opportunities going around that. So we need to use our LinkedIn very wisely. Sometimes I'm hearing from some of my friends that they are saying, "Hey, I know a guy who's a principal engineer in XYZ company, and he doesn't have any LinkedIn at all. He's not using a LinkedIn." So I think yes, there are some people out there who already have landed in a very good jobs and maybe who has been working in the industry for more than 2 decades, and he has a good network. Maybe that network is coming from their universities and even their high school network or university network and everything. They have other support system for their career, but we generally not everyone in that boat. So we are not that person. So especially if you are starting to your career, if at the beginning of your career, don't compare yourself with the 25 years of experienced person who is already working in a FANG company. You're not the same. You need to build your network. You need to show yourself. You need to sell yourself to the recruiters and the companies. That's the way of doing this. That's why LinkedIn is a great platform to build your network, build your profile, and get some visibility out there. That's why don't listen to these people saying that LinkedIn is not worth it or something. It is one of the best platforms right now on the internet to network in terms of professional career wise. So just keep your profile up to date and professional. That's very critical. Keep your profile up to date. Add your accomplishments there. Add your certifications there. Add your job, very similar to what you have in your resume. Just keep your profile up to date with that in the LinkedIn profile. If you're looking for a job, just activate LinkedIn Premium. It will give you a lot of opportunities to send more messages, get more insights. That will worth at the end a couple of $100 during your work during your research for a job. We had some of our mentors in Light Society. They suggested to enable open for opportunities section in a setting in LinkedIn. But we're not fully on board with this idea, to be honest. Some mentors, they don't like this, and some mentors like this. So this is up to you if you like to enable open for opportunities flag. But again, it may show a little bit more desperate position for some. It may be seen as desperate, but on the other hand, it may be a good. If you're looking for a job, why not enable that? Everybody can see that. That's also a good flag to enable. But no matter what, I think if you have a couple of boxes, 10, 20, $50, I think it's worth spending a premium during that work hunting search, job hunting time of your life. Again, LinkedIn is great for expanding your network. Just get connected with people and follow them. Maybe start following them first, and then send them connection request, with a proper invitation text, proper message. I think during this initial network building, please be professional as much as possible, and also send a note to the people that you would like to get connected, not just blind connection requests. That person probably receiving tens of different connection requests every other week. So you will be one of the 10 connection requests. So just be nice, be kind, and just tell them why you would like to get connected with them, and give a context around it. Maybe you saw their presentation somewhere. They were doing a presentation at a conference, maybe you saw their presentation and you like that content, just tell them, I saw your presentation, it was great, I would like to get connected and keep in touch, follow your work, etc. Be professional. Just don't send blind connection requests, which is not a good way to handle that process. If you know that LinkedIn has something called endorsements, so you get some endorsements from your previous or current colleagues, employers, hiring managers, team leads, etc. Just ask for endorsements. This is a very important thing, and this is a very natural thing to ask for an endorsement in LinkedIn. Just ask for it, and they will probably give you an endorsement. Because to be honest, if I'm checking a LinkedIn profile of a potential candidate, I scroll down to endorsements and always check if they have any endorsements there. That will give me a good sense of that person's work life and how successful that person is. Again, if you're looking for if you find a job, and just reach out to active LinkedIn users in your targeted company and ask for their referral. Again, if you don't have a network of people in that company, if you don't know any recruiters in that company, now we need to find a referral. One of the best way is, yes, reaching out to the active employers in that company and ask for their referral. You might be thinking, why this guy is going to give me a referral? Because as you may know, a lot of companies have some incentives for referrals. If the referred person get hired, that person that refers to him is also going to get an additional bonus, referral bonus. That's why a lot of employees will be very much open to give you a referral. So don't hesitate to ask for a referral, even from someone you don't know in that company. But again, do your due diligence first. If that person might be a good candidate, good person to refer. Maybe if you're looking for a job in QA team, it would be better. Maybe you can check with some QA engineers, get for a referral, not for a finance person, for example. So do your due diligence and ask for a referral from LinkedIn, via LinkedIn. Especially this is very interesting. If you saw a recruiter who joined the company within the last 6 months, these recruiters are generally eager to find new hires very much. And they are very much eager to help you in your job search process. I had some previous experience with that. I asked for a referral from a recruiter who just joined 2 months ago or so. And I asked for help. And he said, I'm not the recruiter for that position, but let me send your resume to the proper recruiter. And he sent me my resume to the proper recruiter who is doing the hiring, and that I got a response maybe in an hour or so from the correct recruiter of that position. So if you find a recruiter who just joined the company, they will be much more willing to help you for referrals or directing your resume to the right person in the company. Please check this out. Take advantage of this. Again, timing is very important. Instead of contacting a recruiter or any referral on Friday afternoon, which he or she may not be paying too much attention to his profile and all these emails and everything, just wait for the Monday morning and send that request on Monday morning. By doing this, your email or your message will be placed at the top of the emails or at the top of the DMs of this person. Otherwise, if you send a Friday message throughout the weekend, there will be tons of different messages potentially accumulating on top of each other, and your mail will be very down in the pile. So timing is important. Just be mindful about when you contact to a recruiter or a referral as well. That can be very important. Again, as I said, put a customized message in your connection requests and explain why you are willing to get connected. This is very important. This is super important. And again, thinking out of the box sometimes is very important. Sometimes sending a direct message to a VP or even a C-level person can open you a lot of doors. Again, we are generally very shy about communicating to people in a company. They are in higher levels. When you message to a C-level, of course, you need to think twice or three times. But again, that person, if that person reads your message and sends a message to a recruiter internally, recruiters generally cannot ignore resumes forwarded to them by a VP or director or C-level or a manager. Of course, they will at least give your resume a chance, maybe a phone call or initial interview process. So thinking out of the box sometimes is going to be a good way to handle that. I heard a lot of good examples about this. Even, let me tell you an example. A month ago or so, my CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, sent a couple of my colleagues a message saying that, hey guys, this guy is texting me a lot in the last couple of weeks. He's chasing me all the time. Why don't you just take a look at his resume, and if his resume is good, any good. And we all check the resume because it's coming from our C-level, a CISO. So that guy did a great job reaching out to our CISO to get a kind of introduce himself and try to get land on a job. And then when we got a message from our C-level CISO, we cannot ignore that message, and we definitely took a look on that resume and see if we have any suitable position for that person. So take advantage of that as well. And the other very important thing about LinkedIn, please generate content, create posts on your focus area, and publish them as much as possible. I know it is not easy to generate content. It's not easy to publish, because you might be thinking, why anybody needs my introduction level knowledge on a topic, maybe. Or even if you know a lot, generally we are generally tend to behave like humble people, and we think that our knowledge is not going to be beneficial for others. No, every content is going to be very beneficial for you. And also think about that. Creating a post on LinkedIn, creating a blog post is going to give you a lot of visibility, and is going to make your profile to hit some keyword searches as well. If you're talking about MCPs, if you write a blog post on MCPs, when somebody searches MCP keyword in LinkedIn, this can be a recruiter or hiring manager or an engineer, it will hit to your blog post in LinkedIn messages or Google search as well. So just generate content based on your interest areas as much as possible. Again, it's not easy to build a big giant content that you generated. Similar thing, similar approach is I believe applicable here. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So best time to start blogging, creating content was maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, but second best time is now. Start now building your contents on LinkedIn and or in your blog, and share them with your network. Then you will see, you will be started to. This is a perception topic, actually. If people start to see you as expert on one topic, you automatically, by the recruiter's mind, you will be automatically be the expert on that topic. They will start reaching out to you by just looking at your posts, or just because their searches for job criteria hit to you the keywords that you used in your blogs. That's why start building your contents, start sending messages, follow the news on your focus areas, and create LinkedIn posts or social media posts built on your profiles and send it to your followers. That's a huge topic. Please do this and use your LinkedIn to spread your message and build your profile out there. These are the things that I would like to talk about the application phase. Just wanted to stop here, pause for a minute, and see if you have any questions that I can answer. Yes, please.
You mentioned that if you submit the messages, the timing is important. Do you
Yeah.
think the same applies to sending out the applications?
Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. It can apply. I don't want to potentially send an application on Saturday or Sunday, probably, or Friday afternoon. Yes, because that application will be added into the queue of 100 other applications.
Mhm.
I probably want to send my application early morning in Monday or early morning on the weekdays, probably.
Okay.
Yes,
Thanks.
I agree. Even, by the way, even if you're posting on your LinkedIn, timing is important as well. If you send the post on Friday afternoon, probably nobody's going to read that post throughout the day. Maybe sometimes it's based on my observations, weekends are generally good for posting a blog because people have some free time, and when they open up their LinkedIn profiles in the feed, they can see your post and start reading it. That might be a good way, but not Friday afternoons, for example, or Thursday afternoons. It might not be the best time.
Thanks.
Sure. Any other questions? Any other thing? Any other? All right, let's move on with we completed the application. We did a job search. We completed our application. Now we will get the initial recruiter call from our recruiter, right? That's how we're gonna prepare for that initial phone screen. First of all, during the initial call, just have your resume and job description handy. This is just you don't need to stress too much. Just prepare it. Just put it on your laptop in front of you. Open it up. So when there's a question, when there's a question from when your recruiter asks a question about your resume, at least it will be in front of you, so you can answer that quick. Or if there's any clarification needed based on the dates and everything, you can just quickly respond to that messages as well. And again, job description is also is very critical to when you're talking to your recruiter first. Second one is, as we said, be not too technical or not too shallow. Recruiters are not engineers. They don't know the very detail of the job details. They don't have any. Generally, they don't have too much information about the job as well. But they're not just random people on the street. They know what they are looking for. They will try to find some keywords during their conversations. So you don't need to go too detailed unless recruiter asks for more details. But just you need to mention some keywords that they potentially are looking for, and they need to hear. This can be some technologies that you used based on the job description. You can just check if, for example, if this job requires some AWS knowledge, maybe you can just touch a couple of times in your AWS knowledge and experience in different places in the call. But probably that person is not gonna know AWS guard duty details, configurations that you have done in the past, or all the Elastic load balancer configurations details. He won't know about the details. So just at least talk about touch the keywords that was already mentioned in the job description. By the way, sometimes they ask for technical questions. Recruiters ask technical questions, very basic technical questions during the initial round. You need to, again, you don't need to go too deep into the topic, like you're explaining it to one of the experts in the industry. But again, you need to hit some keywords during the conversation. They are looking for some keywords. They have a predefined question in front of them. They have a potential answers about this question, and they are trying to match your answer with that answer, predefined answer, and try to match keywords as well. So that's an important topic. Be not too technical, not too shallow. Again, job search is all about selling yourself, selling your skills. And we will try to make during the interview, we're trying to get the company decide to buy your skills and get you into their team. So don't be very humble in the interview process. This is not you need to sell yourself as much as possible. This is very important. Be transparent about your visa and location requirements. If you need a sponsorship, just tell that during the interview. They will probably ask this question. This is one of the first questions that they ask. And this is gonna be, you need to be potentially, be truthful about this. And if you're looking for a remote opportunity and any specific location, just be transparent and get clarity if that job is suitable for a remote job, or if that job has an opportunity for another company location in the same company. Sometimes some roles are open in California, for example, but potentially they might be also okay to hire someone from Texas as well. So just clarify that. This is very important. When you get a call from recruiters, generally you might get a direct or indirect calls. When you say direct, which means we are directly talking to the company recruiter. And then sometimes these recruiters ask for some behavioral, and again, as I said, some technical potential questions in that call. So be prepared for that call. By the way, you can always ask during the call. I think we will touch on that in the technical phone screen and on-site interview phases. But you can always ask before any call. You can always ask the content. What's going to be the content of that call? You can check with the recruiter and ask for clarifications, so you can prepare accordingly on that for that specific interview. And sometimes we might be getting some calls from recruiter companies. These are not the real company that you're going to be working for. These are the companies that are trying to hire you to their own in-network companies. Generally, these indirect calls you will get are from mostly contractor positions. And what in the contractor positions, this company is going to hire you to one of the network companies, and then they will assign you to the original company. So as some of you may already know about this kind of positions, it's like you're actually hired by ABC company, but you might be working for Google in that position, and you might be working for a contractor in that position, for that specific position. And you're not going to be a Google's employee, but you will access to Google's data, Google's computers sometimes, and Google company premises in some extent. But you'll be working for company ABC in that. You'll be getting your salaries from company ABC. So they are general in this kind of contractor calls. They are trying to know you better. They generally ask a lot of questions about your visa status and your sponsorship requirements and everything. These positions are not generally pool candidates. For example, in some FAANG companies like Meta or Google, there are some pool positions. So you just hire a software developer to the pool, and once they hire that person into the pool, then they do a team matching within the company. So you're not gonna hire for a specific team or role. You just hire as a software engineer, and then there will be a team matching section after you hire, and you will be working on that team matching process later on. But again, in generally, contractor positions are not very, very job specific. So they are hiring for a specific team and specific role. That's why you need to. They will try to understand if you're interested and if you're suitable for that role very specifically. Again, after you initially got the call, they will send your resume to the recruiter or the hiring manager of the main company, and then they will, if they get an approval, then the interview process moves forward with that. Generally, again, they would like to potentially learn more about your salary expectations. This is a very, very, I think we're going to talk about the negotiation section in the salaries, about salaries, numbers, and everything. But general recommendation is don't try to say any specific numbers. You try to get a range from them first. And if that range is it's suitable, it's okay for you, you can say, yes, this range is okay for me. We can discuss about that after the conversation, depending on how the conversation goes. So, but if they really asking for a question or for the salary to move forward, if they're pushing too back, you can say a higher expectation rate, at least as much as possible. Don't. Yeah, this is the critical thing, is you don't want to be lowballed in this situation. You don't want to say a number that you will regret in the future. So as much as possible, say a number which is on the upper end of your expectations, because most of the contractual positions, they don't have all the benefits that are coming from the company itself. For example, you will work for Google, for example, but you're not going to potentially get any health benefit. You're not going to get any side benefits that a regular Google engineer will have. So you need to you need to end up paying your health insurance and dental insurance, everything out of your pocket. So that's why you need to be careful about saying a number during that stage. That's one of the challenging things. Again, generally contractor positions, they hire based on hourly wages. In contrast, most of the direct hires, you're talking about annual compensation packages. In order to get a rough estimate number of your hourly wage to annual wage, you can just multiply that number with 2,000, and it will give you a rough estimate of what you're talking about. For example, if the hourly rate is $30, which means it's about $60,000 yearly annual salary for that contractor role. That's important. You negotiate on hourly rate mostly. And again, you need to make sure, you need to ask for, let me go back to that. First of all, they will potentially ask for your work authorization and green card or any details. You can just politely decline for this now, and you will say that you will just tell the truth. You have a green card or you have a work authorization. Maybe you can tell them about the expiration date. I have a work authorization which will expire in 4 years or something, in 2027, 2029, whatever. You can talk about that, but we don't recommend sending the employee authorization document, EAD document, or green card to the recruiters in this stage, very early stage, in the phone call stage. And you can talk about that. You can say that, yes, these are my information, but I will provide you the card and everything, all the details when everything goes well. Again, check about pay attention to your agreement between you and that person. You'll be potentially, these are technical terms, but again, you'll be contractor, and so you'll be almost seen as an individual company, and they will just hire you, they will give you a contract. They will give you a, how can I say? They're not gonna pay you as a salary. It's generally, sometimes they just send your company an invoice, or you will send them an invoice, and they will do a payment back to your company as well. So there are some technical details. Just learn about what you are agreeing for. That's important.
Can I add something here for
yes,
the previous one? So the recruiter companies basically use E-Verify. Maybe you heard about it. It's a USCIS tool. Actually, they must verify your visa status using your last 4 digit of your social security number, birthday, and everything. This kind of basic informations. So, but before that, as you said, I didn't send my any information in general because everyone says your confirmation number. But in that case, they don't,
Move forward.
move forward
Mhm.
because especially for the Asian companies, they say there is too much visa fraud or something. They must be, they want to verify your visa status. That's why they want that. In this case, in general, that recruiter company has e-verify badge, and if it's in their network, we can check that. It's kind of mandatory thing in these days, especially in this market. We
Yes.
don't have too much choice.
One of the challenges, you can also push back saying that there's a lot of shady recruiter companies calling you and asking your documents, right? They ask for your EAD card, they ask for your green card and everything, so full social security numbers and everything. There's a lot of fraud out there as well on the opposite side. There's a lot of shady recruiter companies potentially asking your information for identity theft purposes. So just be cautious about that. I think you don't need to send them your green card photo of your green card or EAD card
Yes,
directly. You don't need to send them
yes.
all that details.
It,
Yeah, be mindful.
actually,
I'm just saying, be mindful about that.
yeah. Actually, I talked with a recruiter why they are asking this one, a recruiter company owner. So he said, you can hide all of the fields in your green cards, not just drawing something on that. Just delete the data. Actually, is the better solution. And send the card. They just want to see you have really has a card, not a generating something. And the next thing, they don't need your full social security number. Just need to for last 4 digits. At the end of the day, we see too much leaks in the internet. Yeah, that's why we must open our credit bureaus alerts every time. So this can be here or somewhere else. But in for this, markets, you have to do something, and you are under stress, pressure, and you don't need to, you understand my point, right?
Yeah. I hear you very well. And again, this job market is not the ideal case, and it's employers' market, and contractors are abusing that very heavily for sure. As Hatiba said in the chat, yeah, there might not be a lot of room for negotiations as well at the moment. But again, our goal is not to get lowballed or not to get spammed or phished and get your identity stolen. That's why we are trying to be as cautious as possible in this stage. Again, do your due diligence about the recruiter company as well, about the recruiter himself or herself that you are talking to, and then share as much as possible. Again, for salary options, again, as much as possible, don't just give them a set number. That will be your final number that you cannot negotiate anymore as well. These are some of the things. Again, some of the things that you need to ask is, are they gonna give you paid holidays? Because you're working there hourly basis, so you may not get all the paid holidays as a paid salary. So, for example, you're working for Meta company. They are doing a paid holiday, and when they are on holiday, you're not getting paid. Just to clarify that. Again, how many time offs depending on the contractor role? Do you have any time offs or paid sick days? Do you have any additional insurance, any additional benefits? Again, if you have any health insurance in that included in the package or not, or any retirement 401k related questions, you can clarify with this recruiter. With this recruiter and all recruiters, by the way. Again, this is not for contractors. Just clarify time offs, sick days, any other benefits, insurance benefits packages, and everything. 401ks. Clarify this kind of things during this initial recruiter call, and they will give you a chance to ask questions and just ask as much questions as many questions as you want to get some clarity on all these side benefits and additional benefits, time offs, and initial about the role. Again, learn as much as possible from the recruiter about the role and the team and the hiring manager and the dynamics within the company. If this is a team that has a good budget, maybe some teams might have they are on the fast track and they are growing fast. That can be a good indication of a good team culture as well, and they are supported by upper management. So learn more about the internal dynamics as much as possible. They will try to give you as much information as possible. So just this recruiter, again, recruiters are your allies from now on. During that call, they will be your allies. Just learn as much as possible. By the way, I just wanted to give one thing in general from the interview process. Generally, interviewers, most of the time, they are just trying to hire someone. They are leaning towards hiring a good candidate. So, and recruiters are generally leaning towards just trying to find the right candidate as much as possible. So that's why they will be potentially helpful. Nobody wants to spend hours and hours and hours interviewing tens of different candidates. They would like to find the right candidate and just hire it. That's why use that as in your advantage, especially with your communications with the recruiters. That can be very important. Again, our recommendation is don't send your EAD card, green card, or full social security number if they've been asked. You can reject that information from the beginning. Again, if they're asking for your full social security number from the beginning in the first call, that company may not be the right company for you as well. Like, they should be aware of that. This is not the right way to ask the full social security number in the first phone call. All right, so we got the job. We applied with a referral, or hopefully with a referral, get the first recruiter call, and hopefully pass this recruiter call, and we will go through the technical phone screening and potentially some home assignments section. I think before going into that, I would like to stop here and ask for any questions you have, anything that I can clarify. And also potentially, I think we can stop here and we can continue from technical phone screen and take home assignments next week during the next interview call. I assume that will be ideal. By the way, first, I just wanted to highlight one thing. As I said in the recruiter call, have a resume ready. And also, I will strongly highlight to prepare a 2-minute pitch. This is from Cracking the Code Interview website, which, as you know, most of you know, they have Cracking the Code Interview book, a very famous book. And they have Cracking the Soft Skills cheat sheet. And in that cheat sheet, they gave you a quick 2-minute pitch. Because at the beginning of every conversation, in every stage of the interview, you have to do your 2-minute pitch to every interviewer. So just prepare that. You don't need to just play by ear in every conversation. Just set your 2-minute pitch perfectly dialed in. I am that. I studied at this. I studied in this college, worked for that, that I did that. Then I worked for this company. In that company, I did this, I achieved this, I accomplished this. And sometimes if you have some outside volunteer jobs and everything, you also mention about that. For example, I always mention about my meetup group. I'm very passionate about my meetup group. I always talk about my meetup group as well. In addition to my experience and biography. So I will share that with you here in the chat, so you can take a look at that. Again, prepare that 2-minute pitch, because you're going to use that in every stage of the interview, and you don't want to do it randomly in every interview. All right. Any other questions that I can answer? Any other thing that I can clarify? Again, for me, I would like to highlight some of my thoughts for these 2 days. One of them is use your local communities to increase your network coverage. Yeah, build your network. Attend to local events, volunteer at local events, volunteer in local conferences. Be active in that community. This is going to be super beneficial. Second one is use your network, use your LinkedIn, especially. Build your network also in LinkedIn. And third one is start posting, creating content and posts about your professional interests in LinkedIn or social media, and do some blog posting on your personal website. Maybe if you are a little bit more skilled on video cameras and all these videos, maybe just start building a couple of YouTube videos, maybe short videos or Instagram videos, TikTok videos, whatever. This will give you more visibility in this job market. I think we may need some creative ways to hack the system, especially in this job market, which is not very good for candidates. It is employers' market now. Employers are so strong, and there's a lot of candidates that are looking for job out there. So we need to stand out from the crowd. And I think creating your own content, building your own network is one of the best way to crack that interview process. If you don't have any questions, I think we can stop here, because we're already top of the hour as well, like top of the time window that we were given for this session. All right. I just wanted to thank everyone. Thank you all for joining this call, and I hope it was beneficial, it was valuable for you. Hope to see you in another session, hopefully next week. I may not be the presenter in that next week's call, but I'll be around. If you need me, you can find me on Discord, IT Society Discord channel. If there's anything I can do for you, any referrals in my company, any referrals in cybersecurity area, I will be happy to give you a referral. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.